Hello guys and girls, welcome back to the Racing Line for a brand new video here on the channel. We are back. It is Season 1, Week 1, 2023 in the brand new free car and free track, the Toyota GR86 for the Toyota GR86 Cup, which is a fixed D-Class series. It's also run in the SimLab series, but they are open, so I don't know if I'm going to be doing guides for that this season, as I always run fixed setups. Anyway, Virginia International Raceway is the circuit that we're at. It is now free, and what a circuit it is. The date and time is set to the 1st of the 4th, 2023 at 1:55 in the afternoon to match the official race time. This is actually an official practice session because this guide is a little bit late, so all the conditions are set to exactly what it should be. And yeah, same format as before: breakdown lap followed by a full speed uninterrupted lap followed by an off-board lap. Let's see if we can help you guys find some time. Braking zone for turn 1, the number 2 board on the left-hand side. Hard on the brakes from 5th down into 2nd gear eventually, but watch how I go down the gears. Down to 3rd initially until the car settles, then down into 2nd. Hold it tight to this right-hand side, and then apply that power on the exit. You've got to make sure this car is settled as you turn in because the weight transfer on this thing is insane, and it makes it extremely fun. The curb ends on the left, but your car needs to be aiming towards the outside of the circuit. As it ends, dab the brakes, keep it in 3rd until you're around the apex point, then you can downshift and get that little bit of extra acceleration out. About two car lengths after the curb ends on the right is when we're going to brake for this next turn. Again, hard on the brakes, down to 2nd, get it turned in. Now you should be able to do this flat all the way through here. I had to have a little bit of a confidence lift as I got scared I was going to lose the rear end, but you should be able to do that flat. There's an extra 10th or 2 here because this straight is insanely long. You're now flat out for a long period of the lap. So if you can get that car settled after that left-hander when you mount that curve and keep it flat, keep the rear end in check, you'll gain a 10th or 2 down this straight. Obviously, just follow the flow of the circuit all the way up here. You want to be on the right-hand side as you exit this right-hander because you've got a fast left coming up. It's a dangerous left as well. I just lift, downshift to 4th and get straight back on that power. When I was dabbing the brakes, I was losing a little bit of time. So make sure you get a lift in there, down to 4th. Number 2 board, again, is when we're going to start braking. Now watch. Again, I don't downshift initially. I brake, get the speed off, downshift to 3rd, come right out to the outside of the circuit, down to 2nd, hit that curb, hit that apex nice and smoothly, and then get straight back on the power. You've got to be so precise with this car, because if you have too much steering input and you're too early on that power, then the traction control kicks in and you lose heaps of time. It really is a massive amount of time that you lose when the traction control kicks in. But luckily, you've got a nice long straight, once again, to gather your thoughts here at Virginia International Raceway. One more real braking zone that you need to worry about, and it's past all the marker boards on the right. That little orange thing on the right-hand side there. As we aim towards the left-hand side apex, that's where we're going to brake. Down through the gears, again down to 2nd. Hold it tight to this right-hand side. Back on that power. Watch out for the traction control here. Flat out, up to 3rd. Keep it over to the right-hand side now. We're going to go not quite up into 4th because we're going to lift off for this final turn. Dab the brakes a little bit to get the nose in and then straight back on that power. Now, what's tricky with that corner is if you start understeering wide and you put more lock on, you're going to be scrubbing off a massive amount of time. I lost about 4 tenths there on the previous lap by doing that. So if you can get your car turned in a little bit more, which is why I dabbed that brake, then you can get on the power earlier and carry that speed through. Full speed uninterrupted, let's do the same thing. 2nd marker board, hard on the brakes, down to 2nd, hold it tight to the right-hand side, start getting on that power nice and early, keep that rear end in check. It's a fun little car this, and it's going to take a while for everyone to get used to it, so make the most of it now, nice and early on. As the curb ends on the left, brake, down to 2nd, hit that apex, get back on the power, and away you go, up into 3rd again. 2 car lengths past that curb, dab the brakes, down to 2nd, hold it tight, start accelerating. You should be able to keep it flat here as long as you're comfortable with the car. I just lost out a tiny bit there, but it then affected my whole run down this straight. Even though it was a split-second lift, I think I was about a 10th down at this point on my previous lap, so it can make a difference. But if you're racing, you've got slipstream. It won't affect you that much as you come up through these S's. If you're going side by side through this section, you'll probably lose heaps of time. Get over to the right hand side, get ready for the lift. Here it is, lift off, down to 4th, get back on that power. Don't touch the grass on the exit because it's extremely dangerous. Get over to the left, on the brakes at the number 2 board. Get it turned in, down to 3rd, down to 2nd. Hit this apex nicely and get on that power just before the apex. Then you know you've nailed that corner. The earlier you get on that power, if you open up that corner the right amount and get on the power nice and early, you should get a run on anybody down this straight, even with or without slipstream. I was making gains in that corner, so it's a nice fun corner once you start getting it right. Up the hill, keep it on the right hand side unless you want to try and defend. looking for that orange thing on the road on the right-hand side. There it is. As we start turning in, brake now, down through the gears, third, down to second. Keep that rear end in check, fighting the car all the way through here. Accelerating down the hill, hold it tight to the left, up into third, get over to the right-hand side. Now we don't go quite up into fourth, we keep it in third, lift off at the apex curve on the left, hit the apex curve on the right, and then start accelerating. You can still see we scrubbed off a little bit of speed there. You heard it as we had the steering wheel full right. We scrubbed off a bit of speed, but still carried as much as I could in that instance, and then across the line for a 209.7 in the official practice session. As usual, that's pretty much it from me. I'm going to leave you with this off-board lap. Don't forget to keep those likes and comments coming in, and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I saw a comment not too long ago about suggesting overtake or racing ideas. I might do that on these off-board laps in future, so let me know if that's something that you want to see. I'll be sticking with the GR86, probably likely for this season. Still haven't decided whether I'll do the SimLab ones yet or not based on work. But if I can do it, then I will try. Obviously, they are open setup though, so be aware of that. Yeah, as usual, that's pretty much it from me. Sorry that this is a day or two late. If I don't see you on track this week, then I'll see you next week for the next video here on the Racing Line. Peace!